This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV on YouTube with a daily wrestling news update. One of my favorite wrestlers, Goldberg, who's back under WWE contract, has publicly said in a podcast this week that he's 58 years old and he has a very high standard for himself. Wants to be in, has to be in his underwear in front of everyone for his last match. Doesn't know exactly when it's coming up, but he knows it's coming up soon. He recently had stem cells in Colombia. A lot of people think his last match is going to be at WrestleMania against Gunther. They need more interest in WrestleMania right now because it is 2 nights. And so far, we got what's likely going to be Cody Rhodes against John Cena. Yeah, that match has some interest. Um, I mean, Jey Uso against Gunther is supposed to be another. So maybe it won't be against Gunther. Who knows? Or maybe it'll be further down the line. But to me, I have zero interest in seeing Jey Uso against Gunther. I would rather see Goldberg at WrestleMania. So we'll see how that plays out. WWE's Future Legends show and greats on A&E that they've been promoting a lot only got 169,000 viewers for its first episode, 0.05 rating. So basically, women of wrestling type numbers. I don't understand why anyone would think that show would do well. It's basically a tough enough type show in some ways, but it's like everyone on the show already has WWE contracts. So it's like, what the hell are they competing for? They already have contracts, and it's mostly wrestlers that are athletes from other sports that wouldn't even necessarily be training to be wrestlers if they weren't getting paid to train. So it's like, here's a bunch of athletes getting paid to train. That's pretty much what the show is. It's not like Tough Enough. They were competing to get contracts. To like accomplish their dream, and there was different scenarios and stuff. To get a 0.05 for your debut rating, that's brutal. According to Dave Meltzer, Raw on Netflix has been losing an average of 8 to 10% viewership weekly, and if they keep this rate up, Raw on Netflix will be getting less viewers than NXT on CW if they keep up at this rate of dropping. And a lot of that has to do with, why do people want to watch a show on Netflix that has advertising when the whole point of Netflix is to not have advertising? And you can watch pretty much all the highlights on YouTube without the advertising if you have YouTube Premium. I mean, Meltzer says he's surprised that it's declining so much. I'm not surprised at all. It was torturous watching the first episode, and that was a star-studded episode. They haven't had an episode anywhere close to that star-studded since. Apparently, for the collision that did well, the Australia collision last week that was also star-studded. It was originally supposed to be an Australian pay-per-view at a 53,000 seat stadium. It ended up having 9,000 people at an arena in Australia. They did have a lead-in of the NBA All-Star Weekend. Apparently, the Tony Storm match is where the huge drop in ratings happened, because a lot of people just continued watching the channel after the NBA game. But I guess according to Dave Meltzer, they all started to tune out during the Tony Storm match. I agree, Malik. WrestleMania should be only one night. I totally agree. It's watered down big time. I think this year, unless they pull some crazy stuff out of their hat, this year the 2 nights might be the most watered down 2 nights yet. If The Rock doesn't end up wrestling, I mean, at one point there was buzz that they were going to have Logan Paul against Austin. That's out the window now. Not Austin, Logan Paul against Tyson. I mean, that would have at least had some interest, but to me, I mean, Rhodes against Cena, yeah, I want to see John Cena win the title. Cody Rhodes is falling flat. I mean, SmackDown did its lowest rating of the year last week. I'd like to see Cena back as champion. Is this going to be any long term solution to the decline in interest in wrestling right now? No, but at least it's going to mix it up a bit. I think Cody Rhodes, every match he's had has been very predictable. He was going to win because we all knew he was either going to wrestle. A lot of people thought it was originally going to be The Rock against Rhodes this year at WrestleMania. That seems to be gone. There's no word on if The Rock's even going to do anything at WrestleMania this year for whatever reason. So hopefully something happens where they put some more stuff together, because 2 nights with Gunther against Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes against Cena at this point, it's pretty lackluster. And even if you look at Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in Toronto coming up in just a few weeks, that's a 64,000 seat Sky Dome that had 64,000 for Warrior against Hogan. There's only about 30,000 tickets out for Elimination Chamber, which is being billed as John Cena's last match. And they haven't even been to Canada since the Survivor Series in Vancouver. And there's no future dates announced in Canada. So they're expecting people to travel into this. But I mean, 30,000 is great, but when you consider they haven't been to Canada since November and it's Cena's last match in a major pay-per-view, I don't know how great of a crowd that is. Maybe a lot of it has to do with everyone knows Cena's going to win the Elimination Chamber. I don't know, but Cody Rhodes is a chicken. I think he's a good mid-card wrestler. He's a great company guy, but I find him very boring. And I want to see John Cena beat him because I'm sick and tired of this boring Cody Rhodes era. It bores the hell out of me. The Blood Hunter against Goldberg would have been a very good match. I'd rather watch Goldberg or Brock. My 2 favorite active wrestlers, honestly, are Goldberg and Lesnar. And I would throw The Rock in there too, but I like the intensity of Goldberg. He's definitely underrated. Miguel Rhodes definitely ducked me when you consider I had Terry Funk, Kevin Sullivan, Billy Graham, Jacques Rougeau, Conan, Bushwhacker Luke, and Jerry Jarrett all endorsed me back when he was doing that AEW challenge. No independent wrestler that he wrestled had that many endorsements. And he didn't wrestle any independent wrestler with a YouTube following like I had, but whatever. That's all water under the bridge. I will be wrestling May 3rd at the ECW arena against Super Crazy. So we'll see how that match goes. I've been training pretty hard for this, and I'm about to head to the gym now. So thanks for tuning in. Have a great afternoon. Let me know what you think of WrestleMania so far this